Hello out there in internet world. I am just here because I haven't recorded in a couple of days. Actually, I tried to record yesterday and it was an ultimate failure, but it was probably a good thing because I got all emotional and was crying and all this crazy emotional stuff. But anyway, I'm a lot more stable today, and I've had a very enlightening couple of days. Lent, oh, I don't even know. Like, you learn, or I've learned so much in the past like week and a few days than I have in a long time. My heart has been completely open, and it's because when I've given up stuff, when I go to do it because I forget, or when I think about it, I immediately think of God, and that's what Lent is for. And so then I'm like all reflective and deep and whatever. But it's good because I'm so in touch with a lot of different things, and right now I've really been in touch with reconstructing who I am so that I can be a better person out on God's field, and it's been really, really cool. I'm working on my patience. I'm a lot more receptive to when I become impatient. I try to fix it. It's so hard, especially with my mom, especially living at home, being 25. I get really frustrated, and sometimes unconsciously I start taking it out on my mother or my dad or whatever, and I immediately realize why I'm acting like this, and I really do try to change. So that's good. But yesterday, and this is why I got real emotional, I was very in focus with the concept of love and what that really means. And I realized that there was one person in particular that I did not treat the way I should have, and she was my best friend. Was being the operative word. It's horrible. Actually, let me grab my Bible. I was looking for one. There was one right next to me. We're all very aware of the love chapter in the Bible. That's 1 Corinthians 13. And for some reason yesterday it just smacked me hard in the face that I was not living this life that God called me to live, in terms of love. Love is like the basis of all things. If you don't love, then you can't do anything, because you don't have that caring for the other person. Nothing matters without love. You can do things for people, but if you don't love them, what does it matter? For instance, somebody comes to help you, let's say, move. If they're not showing you love or some sort of, caring, then you're kind of wondering why they're even here, And I was really living that way for quite some time. And it just turned me into a very angry person. I was not receptive to anything anyone had to say or do, anything. It was awful. But I do want to read what 1 Corinthians 13, 4 through 8 says. And it reads, "Love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud. It is not rude, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered, it keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails." And then another translation, the New Century Version, verse 8 reads, "Love never ends." Despite the way I acted before, and despite all the chaos that was in my life, love never ended, and that is in two ways. First of all, my love for the best friend in question, or the ex-best friend in question, it never did end. I thought it had, but that was because I was out of focus. I was upset. I was depressed. I was way away from where God wanted me in my life. I couldn't love myself, much less someone else. I really, at the time, didn't love God anymore. I was so detached from life, spiritually and physically. It was ridiculous. But what was really awesome is, and this is the second way that love never ends, and I'll get back to the first one, God's love never ended for me. No matter where I was, how far I felt I had pushed myself away from God, God was always there, and He loved me regardless, and He loves me now, and I am so, so very aware of that. But my ex-best friend, who I still love and care for, I treated her like crap, quite honestly. And I, at the time, thought that the love I had for her was completely done. I was annoyed, I was sick of her. I thought it was over, and that really hurt me, which just further affected the depression that I was feeling. But the truth is, that love has not ended. The closer I get to God, the more I realize how much that love is still here. And while I cannot show her, and I wish so much that I could, the fact is I love her just the same. I love her even more now. And I really want to stress to everyone, if you love a person, it is so much more than words. Words and actions go together, and if your actions don't speak what you're saying, you can forget the action, because it doesn't matter. That is more true than I could express to you right now. Love is just the basis of all things. I'm just pretty much just an empty body if I don't have love within me. And I wish I had showed that better. And I implore you to really show your love for another person, because you just never know what can happen, and you'll never be able to say that again. And that's the position I find myself in right now. I can't tell her how much I love her because she's not here. But if you are watching, I love you to death, and love just doesn't end. I don't care what you do. I don't care what wall you try to build up. I don't care how nonchalant you try to act. If it's real, it's real. And I'm not talking a romantic kind of love. I'm talking real, dirty, just in the muck love. Love that cannot be shaken. Love that can't be moved. Love that persists even when you are annoyed. Love that sticks with it even when you think it's over. Love that takes care of what needs to be taken care of. Love that laughs with a person. Love that cries with a person. I wish I could explain it more, but the love that I receive from God is so unexplainable. You have to live it. You have to be in it to know what I'm saying. And to many of you, I love you in just that way. I really, really do. And I want y'all to know that. For any of you I've hurt, for any of you I have discouraged, for those I have mistreated, I am so sorry. And I don't mean to ever do anything like that. Love has changed me. Love of Christ. It has come into my heart again, and I am such a different person. Not just because of Lent, but before this. But Lent is just showing me different things right now and really digging deep into my heart. But even before that, after I got my life back on track, I realized what love was again, and I allowed love to affect me. So my challenge to each of you is go love someone, truly and honestly, outside of romance, outside of even what we call best friend love. I'm talking a love that changes things, a love that lifts up people, a love that cannot be explained, but only shown, and really just worked through. I'm affected, and I want each of you to be as well. This has been Ministry in the Making. Over and out.